Liverpool fans, big updates coming in. Salah's legacy, transfer battles and major controversy. You don't want to miss this. Hit subscribe now and join Anfield Wire for all the latest Liverpool news every single day. Mohamed Salah's legacy is secure, but there's still one thing Liverpool needs to do for him. Mohamed Salah will leave Liverpool this summer as one of the club's greatest ever players. But it's on Liverpool now to make sure he goes out on the terms he deserves. The king is vacating his throne, but hopefully not before one last grand moment. After 9 years, Liverpool will be bidding farewell to Mohamed Salah this summer. His place among the greatest Anfield icons is secure after a mesmerising spell which has seen him climb into the top 3 of the club's top goal scorers of all time, as well as fire the Reds to 2 Premier League titles and the Champions League, among other trophies. It is testament to the utmost professional he is, a player who has been held up as the ultimate example for his teammates to follow, that perhaps his finest hour came just last season, when simply no one came close to the levels he produced. He is the club's greatest ever foreign player. Not just that, but he absolutely holds a place alongside the likes of Sir Kenny Dalglish and Steven Gerrard as the greatest ever to wear the iconic red. In truth, as much as the timing of his announcement came as a shock on Tuesday, the decision itself wasn't a surprise. This is an exit that has been on the cards for months now. This season hasn't been the way in which a legend would like to go out. Salah's decline was as sudden as it was unexpected after his heroics over the previous 12 months. There will be plenty of factors in play there, not least the grief he and his teammates suffered following the tragic passing of Diogo Jota. His legacy will not be tarnished, though, even after that extraordinary outburst in December. In many ways, that was a sign of the competitor he is and the standards that he holds himself and his club to. Now, even in a season that has fallen so far of expectations, and not just for Salah, by the way, he has the opportunity to go out in style and on the terms befitting him. Throughout his time at Liverpool, Salah has held the Champions League above any other trophy. It was only last season when that outlook changed and he embarked on an almost one-man mission to bring the Premier League title back to Anfield. Hopes of back-to-back championships are long gone, but the Champions League remains well within sight. It will be a big ask, especially considering Arne Slot's side looks nowhere near the form of European champions, but the Reds owe it to Salah to give him the perfect send-off. For all its success over recent years, Liverpool hasn't done the best job of saying farewell to some of its biggest names. The likes of Jordan Henderson and Sadio Mane never got the chance to say a proper goodbye to Anfield, and far too often players haven't gone out on their own terms. Salah will get that chance though, and it would only be right for him to do so by living up to his dream of being crowned a European champion again. Long live the Egyptian king. Jamie Carragher not interested in being part of Anfield's send-off for Mohamed Salah. Jamie Carragher has given his thoughts on Mohamed Salah's impending departure from Liverpool, with the winger having announced he will be leaving Anfield at the end of the current season. Jamie Carragher has suggested Mohamed Salah's exit from Liverpool might have arrived a year too late and confessed he would rather not witness his farewell at Anfield in May. Salah is set to leave the Reds this summer following 9 years on Merseyside. The attacker will be remembered as one of Liverpool's all-time greats, having been instrumental in the club's resurgence under former boss Jurgen Klopp since joining from Roma in June 2017. The 33-year-old delivered his finest campaign last term under Arne Slot, netting 29 Premier League goals and contributing to the Reds' record-equalling 20th English top-flight crown. Salah's trophy haul at Liverpool includes 2 Premier League titles, the Champions League and FA Cup, 2 League Cups and various other significant honours. Yet his performances have declined sharply in 2025-26, with only 5 league goals to date. Former Liverpool captain and centre-half Carragher has outlined in his latest Telegraph column why Salah might have benefited from departing after the Reds secured the championship last season. Reports the Liverpool Echo. He wrote, "The timing of Tuesday's announcement strikes me as both perfect and clever. There will inevitably be retrospective suggestions that the decision is a year too late, and that it would have been better for all parties had he sought his farewell when the club won the Premier League trophy last May. Salah is expected to receive a heartfelt farewell in Liverpool's final home game of the season against Brentford in late May. However, Carragher suggests that a more fitting goodbye would be with a Champions League triumph in the final on May 30th. The The 48-year-old expressed, as a soon-to-be ex-Liverpool player, he will soon come to view the place where he made his name, as I do, as part of his extended family. He will understand my point of view if or when anyone criticises Liverpool in the future. And he will also understand that while it is always sad when a great player leaves, no one is irreplaceable. Another Anfield hero always emerges. Confirming his intentions now guarantees the kind of emotional grand farewell that a player of his standing deserves, which is why it was so critically important that neither he nor the club entertained any offers for him in the January window. I have one final admission, however. While I will celebrate his career, I have no wish to be part of a grand Anfield farewell after the club's final Premier League fixture in May. Every Liverpool fan has something far better and more dramatic in mind. Knowing Salah's mindset and competitive spirit, he will be setting his sights on the greatest of all possible goodbyes a week later, inspiring his team to victory in the Champions League final in Budapest. Do not bet against the perfect send-off. Exclusive, huge Mohamed Salah tell in Liverpool announcement spotted by body language experts. A body language expert lauded Liverpool star Mohamed Salah for subtly expressing obvious gratitude to the club in his video confirming his departure from the Reds. Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah released a 129-second video across his social media channels on Tuesday confirming his exit from the club after 9 years. The announcement video started off with a series of Salah highlights before cutting to him sitting comfortably in a chair in front of an impressive trophy cabinet, including a large Champions League trophy that showcased the Egyptian's expansive CV. Salah discusses his gratitude to both his current and former clubmates, the club itself and the fans. It's the last section that caught the attention of body language expert Judy James, explaining a tell that suggests his genuine affection and gratitude for the club's supporters. I want to thank everyone who was part of this club throughout my time here, Salah said as part of his 210-word farewell, especially the teammates past and present, and to the fans. I don't have enough words. The support you showed me through the best time of my career, and you stood by me in the toughest times. It's something I will never forget, and something I will take with me always. Jones commended Salah's coolness given the magnitude of the announcement. It's the understated body language and the downplayed emotions that make this video so touching and so real, she explained exclusively to Liverpool.com. Salah sits down, placing his drink on the floor, and sits back in his chair in what looks like an attempt to appear casual. His head cocks and his fingers mesh as though he's about to tell a story, but it's the sigh that suggests a sense of strong regret here, Jones continued. Mo uses words like passion in a relatively unemotional way here, but the suggestion is that this suppression of emotional displays is intended to help him get through his very moving message. There is a small thumb rub and a rocking of his chair to suggest inner sadness and a desire to self-calm. Jones closed by discussing his gratitude towards the fans, and then Salah's body language's biggest tell lets us know where his deeper affection lies. As he mentions the fans, there is an openly emotional response suggesting genuine affection and gratitude. He tilts his head and his entire features soften as a smile crosses his face for the first and only time. Salah has a handful of games left in his Liverpool career, including a Champions League quarter-final against PSG, an FA Cup quarter-final against Manchester City, and the remaining Premier League games in the club's push for European football. Salah has 191 Premier League goals in all. A few came while he was with Chelsea. That placed him fourth in league history. Ngumoha and Trey Nyoni revealed true thoughts on Mohamed Salah in one word. Liverpool teenagers Ngumoha and Trey Nyoni gave an honest one-word description of Red star Mohamed Salah ahead of the Egyptian's departure announcement from the team. The greater football world reacted to Mohamed Salah's sudden departure from Liverpool on Tuesday, setting an end-of-season timeline to close the Egyptian's magical 9-year spell with the Reds. Liverpool youngsters Ngumoha and Trey Nyoni were perhaps the last two players asked about Salah at Liverpool prior to the news of his pending exit. The Reds teenagers took part in a one-word challenge video shoot with JD Sport that was published earlier in the day on Tuesday. When Ngumoha and Nyoni were asked to describe Salah in words, they quickly confirmed an answer in agreement, King, referencing the nickname Salah was given by the cop. Salah boasts 189 goals and 92 assists in 310 Premier League appearances for Liverpool, both club records. He won 2 league titles and a Champions League, lifting a host of individual silverware along the way. Like Salah, Ngumoha also plays on the wing, though almost exclusively on the left. Arne Slot named Salah as a player the young Englishman should look up to. On the other side, there is a player, Mo Salah, who he needs to take the example of, the Dutch manager said in early March. Being a good player is not so difficult, but being a good player every 3 days over a long period of time is something we are going to work on with him to ensure he can get to those levels. Slot concluded with a compliment for Ngumoha. I think it's special if you're a 17-year-old and you play in a Premier League match, he said. Both Nyoni and Ngumoha were warming up on the touchline when Salah lashed home from outside the box to put Liverpool ahead 5-0 in the second leg of the side's Champions League round of 16 tie against Galatasaray. Nyoni covered his mouth in total disbelief before turning to Ngumoha, who was reacting in a similar fashion. The Liverpool youngsters gave further one-word descriptions for other players: Alisson, Spider, Virgil van Dijk, Leader, Ibrahima Konate, Nyoni and Ngumoha were split, saying strong and joker. Milos Kerkez, crazy. Jeremy Frimpong, funny. Ryan Gravenberch, chill. Alexis McAllister, intelligent. Dominik Szoboszlai, energetic. Cody Gakpo, humble. Alexander Isak, they said gunman, referencing Isak's signature goal celebration where he makes finger guns. Expect both Nyoni and Ngumoha to feature heavily in the Premier League run-in with Liverpool. Liverpool transfer news amid $58 million Man UTD battle and advantage in Kees Smit race. Liverpool transfer news as Arne Slot could battle Manchester United for a $58 million midfielder, and the Reds are said to have an advantage in any potential race for Kees Smit. Liverpool has another big summer lying ahead. Whatever happens for the remainder of the current campaign, with Arne Slot's side inside the Champions League places as things stand, but with work to do. If there is still a chance, then I am always confident, Virgil van Dijk told reporters last weekend. But we have to do better, of course, and if we don't, then it is going to be very difficult. 7 more games and tough ones as well, so things have to change for us to deserve a Champions League place. Regardless of its European status, Slot's squad will need some upgrades when the summer comes. Here is the Liverpool.com verdict on the latest transfer gossip to emerge around the Reds. Eduardo Camavinga, Real Madrid. Manchester United is seriously considering making a move for Eduardo Camavinga this summer amid links with Liverpool, according to Football Insider. The Old Trafford team might need to sign a replacement for the departing Casemiro, who will not be handed a new contract. Manuel Ugarte has not been the player that Manchester United thought he would be. Sandro Tonali, Carlos Baleba, Bruno Guimaraes, Elliot Anderson and Adam Wharton have all been linked with transfers to Manchester United ahead of the summer. But Camavinga is said to be considering his future at Real Madrid, even though he is under contract until 2029. The Frenchman is still only 23, but could be eyeing a change of scenery. At the Bernabeu, he has filled in at the back, playing left back at times. A move to the Premier League would allow him the chance to play in his best position in the centre of midfield. Kees Smit, Azay, Alkmaar. Liverpool and Arsenal are leading the race for AZ Alkmaar midfielder Kees Smit this summer because they are likelier than some of the other Premier League contenders to be playing Champions League soccer next season. That is according to Football Insider, with Newcastle also keen on the 20-year-old. Elsewhere, Spanish giants Real Madrid and Barcelona are also said to be interested. Smit has played 40 senior games in the Netherlands this season, including in the UEFA Conference League. He has scored 4 goals and set up another 8 for his teammates in all competitions. Jamie Carragher risks wrath of Cristiano Ronaldo again with Mohamed Salah claim. Mohamed Salah has announced he will be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season, with Jamie Carragher making his status among other Premier League greats. Clear Jamie Carragher has risked the wrath of Cristiano Ronaldo's legions of fans and the man himself after he placed Mohamed Salah ahead of the former Manchester United star on his list of Premier League greats. The former Liverpool defender was reacting to Salah announcing that he will leave the Reds at the end of the current season, bringing his 9-year spell at Anfield to an end. The 33-year-old has reached an agreement which will see him depart for free in the summer, having announced his decision to supporters in a video message. During his time at Liverpool, Salah has become the club's third highest goalscorer of all time, winning 2 Premier League titles and a Champions League, among other trophies to his name, underlining his impact on the Premier League. Salah is the only player to have claimed 3 PFA Players Player of the Year awards during his career, the highest individual honour in the English game. And that, Carragher feels, places him above the likes of Ronaldo, Eden Hazard and Eric Cantona when it comes to the Premier League's greatest foreign players. That might not go down too well with the former, who has some history with Carragher, having completely blanked him after being criticised upon his return to Manchester United. Writing in his column for The Telegraph, Carragher said, "Mohamed Salah's imminent Liverpool departure marks not just the end of an extraordinary era for the club. It means the Premier League will soon be deprived of another world-class generational talent. Liverpool's loss is English football's loss." Following Kevin De Bruyne's exit from Manchester City just last season, Salah's Anfield farewell brings down the curtain on another career in this country which has illuminated our stadiums. Until others step up to fill the huge void, we may risk suffering a superstar famine. In the pantheon of overseas attacking players to have excelled in England, only Thierry Henry eclipses Salah's output and consistency. While many will argue the merits of players like Cristiano Ronaldo, Eden Hazard, Gianfranco Zola, Dennis Bergkamp or Eric Cantona, none of them produced the same devastating numbers as consistently, season after season, as the Egyptian. Ronaldo's time at Manchester United, both initially and upon his return, was either side of his absolute Real Madrid peak years. Salah edges ahead of him when judging strictly on Premier League performance and impact. In an all-time Premier League 11, Salah is an automatic inclusion in the front 3 alongside Henry and Ronaldo.